Hey there, fancy seeing you here. Welcome back to the Lytt Effects YouTube channel, where you get to bear witness to my amazing guitar playing, because it's really good. Just kidding! If you've been here before or watched any other videos, you know I'm not that great at guitar. Sorry about that, it is what it is. Hopefully the pedal makes up for it and makes me sound better, because I'm just not that great at this. So, before we dive into the pedal, let's talk about my clean tone, because that's the most important thing. So, my clean tone, as far as signal chain goes, guitar, right here, there she is, the white Telecaster in all her glory. Lawler Specialty pickups, straight from the guitar into a really fancy cable, and then that cable goes into the First Rule of Overdrives pedal, and then it goes out of the First Rule of Overdrives pedal, and then it goes into the Universal Audio Dream, again through a very extremely fancy cable, and then it goes out of the Dream through a third extremely fancy cable and into my computer. So there it is, signal chain, it's set up. Let's hear the clean tone, because that's the most important thing of all. Here we go, here's the bridge. Here is the middle. And the bridge. So yeah, you can hear it's very clean sounding. So the preset that I am running in the Dream is the Corey Wong clean preset, just in case you're interested. Extremely clean sounding. It has a very like slight edge of breakup, blah, 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 whatever buzzwords you want to throw out there about that Fender edge of breakup, farty kind of sound that it has. So yep, but I like it, so sounds cool. All right, and then for the First Rule of Overdrives. So this pedal here is pretty much a direct clone of the KingTone Duellist. So side A right here, you have your Tubescreamer variant, and then side B, you have your Bluesbreaker variant. When I say variant, I mean these are like heavily modified circuits, so they are not all that close to the originals, but they sound really, really great. And I will say, of the 9 pedals that I've built so far, actually 10, but 9 that I have actually as part of this collection that I am selling as part of this project, this one is the one that surprised me the most. And mainly because I'm not either, like, I generally don't like Tubescreamers, and I generally don't like Bluesbreakers on their own. Like, they're not for me. So it was very surprising to me when I first ran this. I was like, wow, I really like the way that this pedal sounds. This Bluesbreaker is certainly a lot different than an original, standard Bluesbreaker. And it's different than what's in, the Brown Protein. It's different than the King of Tone. It has its own unique sound, but I really, really like this thing. So both sides, actually. Again, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. This is going to be a mainstay on my board. I love running this thing. So yeah, so let's hear how she sounds. We'll go side A first, then we'll go side B. We'll kind of play with the knobs, we'll play with the switches. There's stuff going on the inside of this one as well. So as far as the settings go on the dip switches inside, so I have it set right now to asymmetrical clipping, and then the warmth switch is turned off, and then the distortion switch is turned off on the inside for their respective sides. So, but again, we'll dive into those later on to hear how those sound and kind of change things. You do have your fat, stock, and glass settings on here. Little disclaimer on this side, it's actually reversed. I made a little flub up when was putting this one together and forgot to wire this up the opposite way. So it's actually, so on this side, it goes with the label where it's fat is up, stock is middle, glass is down. On this side, glass is up, stock is middle, fat is down. So sorry about that, is what it is. So you live and you learn, I guess. So yeah, here's we're gonna stay on the bridge pickup. Let's hear side A. Again, this is the Tubescreamer variant. Bring that more up to unity. I think this thing just with open chords, man, I love the way that this sounds. So I'll drive it up a little bit here. Let's go lower gain on this. So yeah, it's just a really great sounding pedal, this side on its own. I really love it. So let's hear that side. Again, we'll just kind of go back, drive at noon. Let's hear the glass setting. Stock. It just adds a little presence there. Let's go to fat. Go to the middle pickup. So that's on the neck there. Let's go into the glass setting and leave it. So that's one of my favorite sounds in this pedal, on the neck pickup or even the middle. In the glass setting, you know, drive at noon and just... I love it. So let's go back to stock. I'm going to leave it there. Let's hear the Bluesbreaker side B. So again, really cool sounding Bluesbreaker variant that I really, really like. Again, not being much of a Bluesbreaker guy, this thing really surprised me. So let's kick drive back a little bit, do more of a volume boost. Let's see, higher gain. Let's hear the fat. Stock. And the glass. Let's stack them. So yeah, it's a really cool sounding pedal. I like this thing. I'm gonna go back to stock. We're gonna set the drives both at noon, volume, keep it right around there, and then let's play around with what's going on the inside. So with this pedal, let me try not to knock a whole bunch of stuff down. So on the inside, you got some dip switches to play with. So right here and right here, those are your dip switches. So you got two settings on each. So on side A, your Tubescreamer side, you have the option to go from asymmetrical clipping to symmetrical clipping. So that's the top switch right here. And then the bottom switch on this side is going to add warmth. That's probably my favorite way. I did not have it set like that, but we'll hear how that sounds. And then on side B over here, you've got, again, the symmetrical clipping option as well as a distortion option. So let's first hear side A. So this is engaged. Going to engage the symmetrical clipping. It's not a crazy difference there. So kind of similar to what's going on in the Timmy with the clipping, and the same holds true for the Bluesbreaker side of this. So let's go to the warmth side now. Yeah, you can hear it just kind of warms it up. Yeah, I personally like this with the warmth engaged, but that's just me. So, flip side, there's your Bluesbreaker. Let's do symmetrical clipping. Again, not a huge drastic difference. Let's add the distortion. This you'll really hear. Yeah, so adding distortion does what it says. It adds a little bit of distortion. So just, a lower clipping threshold. So it's going to cut off more of that waveform. And yeah, so that's the first rule of overdrives. You've heard it, so let's talk about it. So the first rule of overdrives, like I said, based on the KingTone Duellist. Super fun pedal, and I really like this thing a lot. And it just, like I said, really shocked me. As far as the design goes, so when I thought of Duellist, first thing that came to mind was Fight Club. So thus was born the first rule of overdrives. And the first rule of overdrives, in case you're wondering, is that you don't talk about diodes. But speaking of diodes, because that's an important topic of conversation with this guy, so I was able to source the BA282, which is what was used in the original, and I have a good supply of them from a legit supplier, stompboxparts.com. So that's what's in here, the diodes used in the original. So a lot of clones will use the BAS 33. I'm using the BA282, the original. Your op amps, they are socketed, so you can go ahead if you want to swap those in and out, go for it. We've gone over the dip switch settings. As far as your controls, again, standard, you got volume, drive, tone, and your fat, stock, and glass settings right here. And then on the inside, so the LED brightness, you can control it with these socketed resistors. So those are going to control your LED brightness. If you want to swap them out, go pick up some resistors on Amazon. You can get quite a bunch of different values for very cheap, and swap them in and out and fine tune your brightness if you wish. And then this pedal, or the PCB for this one, comes from AionFX. So it does have the AionFX loop kind of switching routing in here. So you have your input, which is this guy right here. So again, follow your triangles solid triangle is your input, your kind of, and then solid triangle for your output, and then your outline triangles. So this is going to be your send and return loops. And then, yeah, so input, output, and then if you want to connect into these guys, that will break apart each side individually. So you can do that if you want to, which is super great. So again, in, and then this would be your output for side A, and then this would be your input for side B and output for side B, where you just go in and then out, leave these unplugged, and it will operate as normal. So yeah, super great pedal. I love this thing a lot. So I've got it in this matte black finish, and then the UV printing for the graphics. And then I also have this pearl gray. So personally, I like the matte black, but pearl gray is nice too. These are the only two I've got. And on the pearl gray one, the labeling does match for your toggle switch. So, because I did it right on this one. I forgot to on the black one, and it is what it is. So just keep that in mind if you get the black one. These are the only two I've got available, so get them while you can. So there it is, the Lytt Effects First Rule of Overdrives, KingTone Duellist. I love it. I'll see you later.